Hi and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to take you through the top 10 tips for buying a motorhome or a campervan for people who are new to the hobby completely. So these are the things that we went through 12 months ago, 2 years ago when we were looking to buy our motorhome. So hopefully we found some really useful hints and tips. We thought we'd put them all together in one video and share them with you so you can see what you think, and hopefully it'll help you make your decision.
Starting with number 10, we looked at a lot of magazines and websites. Really the place where you go for most of your research these days, Google. For myself, I didn't really have any experience of motorhomes, campervans, vans, anything like that, so it's just the first place to go. I like a magazine. I much prefer to kind of leaf through the pages, look at the pictures, so I did like the magazines. Got your magazine subscription, didn't I?
Yeah,
slightly selfish present.
Yeah, 2 years ago she got a magazine subscription for my birthday to Campervan magazine, which was really useful and good. Lots of reviews and places to go, and it really sort of whet our appetite for wanting to go on adventures.
Yeah.
And it helped us choose our van as well. Interestingly, the very first magazine we got, on the back page is a picture of our van. So subliminal
This
messaging.
actual van. There we go. We spent all that time and it was just right there from the beginning.
So number 9 for us is lists. So
I do like a list.
making lists. They laughed at me when I made lists. So at first, writing a list of all the things that you want, all the things that you need. So things that the motorhome or campervan must have, and then write down the things that you want that are nice to haves. And then obviously you can create that and take it with you. We took it everywhere, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my idea of a list is just literally a list. Yours was more like a spreadsheet of this one's got this and this one's got this. It was a bit more intense, wasn't it? But, you know, we got there in the end, and it was, should we buy like a car with a roof tent on it? Should we buy a tent? Should we buy a caravan, a big motorhome, campervan, van? So many different options.
Yeah. So definitely make lists and take them with you everywhere you go, because they're really, really useful. On your phone, on your tablet, whatever you want to do.
Or paper, the old-fashioned way. So number 8 was visit shows. We went to quite a few shows, whether specific motorhome ones like the NEC that we went to, or just
like Warner shows and stuff around the country, and just local shows, anything we could find really. And the other thing at the shows, obviously you can explore, you can touch everything, you can see it, you can speak to the specialists. Really useful, can't recommend it highly enough. But also take pictures of everything. The amount of times I used it to refer back to a van or a motorhome when we got home and Googled it, or even check things like the tyres, or the wheels, or the features it's got on it as standard. You can see a lot of the stuff in the photos you've taken. So yeah, take photos. I just took a smartphone, nothing fancy, just used it on a smartphone, and that was it.
Yeah, it's quite overwhelming, I think. For me, I found there was a lot of information. You know, you go to the big shows, you're there all day, you see so many vans, you go in them, you talk to so many people, that you get home and it's, you know, you were like, oh, well, that one's got this and that one's got these wheels and this engine, and I'm just like, I couldn't relate it to the van that we'd seen. So, yeah, taking pictures and just having some kind of recollection to look back on was really helpful.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so number 7 for us is visiting dealers or manufacturer events. So starting to visit some of the events that the dealers run or manufacturer supported events. Particular one we went to that was really good in 2019.
19.
19. Yeah, it was the Adria event. That's right, yeah, Adria event in the Midlands. Really good to see all their latest vans for the model year 20 season. Really good to be able to speak to people, informative, and then also to go to the local dealers and speak to them, because the guys there are really helpful. Lots of information, they understand the product, and obviously you can start talking a little bit more about pricing and stuff if you wanted to at that point.
Yeah, the Adria one, they had some some members, didn't they, from the Adria
Owners Club,
Adria Appreciation or whatever.
The Owners Club, yeah, it was.
And obviously great ambassadors for the brand. So that was good to hear their take on why they liked them, and the features and things, why they kept going back and buying more and more. So yeah, that was good. Again, it's all useful information. Number 6 would be YouTube.
And social media as well, I think, too. The links off the back of it. But yeah, YouTube was massive for us, wasn't it? We sat and watched it. We'll do a separate video on our top 5 channels for helping when you're looking to buy a motorhome or campervan. But it became our Saturday night or Friday nights. So
all the nights, if you had anything to do with it, he's just obsessed. It's like, seeing this, I've watched this video, I've watched these people, they go here, they do this, I've learnt this. I think I was quite sceptical.
Yeah.
Skeptical. Sorry.
But it replaced our like sort of Netflix on a Friday night, didn't it? Start watching films and started watching YouTube instead, or even wake up on a Saturday morning and putting YouTube straight on. Especially if someone's just been on an adventure and they've released their videos, it's really exciting. So it's good to go with them, and it's been brilliant for learning. So yeah, absolutely. Clearly follow our channel as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it inspired us in the end. I did come full circle.
Yeah. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. We'll get
like and subscribe, and then start your own channel. Why not?
Yeah. So number 5, involve everybody. So anybody that's involved in making the decision on buying the motorhome or campervan, make sure they're involved. It's something I learned early on. If it was up to me, we would have bought a Volkswagen California after about an hour of looking, but then realised I didn't have some of the features that Caroline wanted, and she would never come with me. So.
No, my requirements weren't that major, just a toilet and heating, and I didn't want to use it as my everyday car.
Yes, that was the point. I wanted to try and combine everything, but realised that it wouldn't be very much fun, so we decided to change our minds on that and go for something that was a bit more practical for what we wanted it for.
So number 4 is the size of your motorhome, campervan, van, whatever. How big the van is, what you need to use it for. We had thoughts of going to Cornwall, tiny little lanes, places like that, going up to Scotland, little ferries and things. Just be mindful of what you're actually going to use it for.
Yeah, we wanted something that could fit in the space and park it easily as well, in terms of where we're keeping the van. So that was really important. So we measured
the drive.
Everything to death, as much as we could make sure we could fit it on. It's a tight squeeze, but the van is a perfect size for us. The first one we looked at, we realised wasn't big enough. We almost bought at a show. It was almost a metre. It was a metre shorter than this one. So definitely the size is really important. As also for your licence, just need to make sure what licence you have. Caroline, I have a C1 category on my licence, which means I can drive bigger vehicles. Caroline's doesn't have it on. So just make sure your licence matches the size of the vehicle you're looking for as well. There's lots of information about that on the internet, so if you get stuck, Google it or ask someone on one of the forums.
Although I haven't actually driven this van yet.
this year.
I'm scared.
Okay, we're into the top 3 now. Exciting. Number 3 is budget. Obviously, you need to consider this depending on which type of vehicle you want. The budget's really important. So you need to work out what's important for you and what you can afford. One tip would say is just look at the maximum budget you want to spend or what you want to spend and add 10%, because you'll probably find the van or motorhome you really want and it's just a little bit out of your price range. This vehicle we bought was much more than I originally budgeted for. The vehicle we were going to buy wasn't quite what we wanted.
No, I think it's just being prepared. If you need to compromise, what can you compromise on? And if you can stretch your budget to get everything and tick all the boxes, I think you're going to enjoy it all the more.
Yeah, definitely. We made some concessions to make sure we could get this van because we wanted a spec and we realised this is exactly what we wanted. So we did, and we paid a bit more to get it. So make sure you budget and don't just worry about spending cash. Obviously you can finance it as well. There's plenty of options available from dealers, independent finance companies as well. So you don't have to just pay cash for it. Motorhomes sound expensive or look expensive, but yeah, you can definitely finance it.
There's plenty of options if you really want it.
Yeah.
So number 2, the penultimate one, is time. Really, just take your time, do your research. I think, just touching on the points that we've already raised, if we'd have just gone for the first thing that Ian had looked at, we might have regretted it. We might have been quite right. So it's just about taking a considered approach and not just making a decision, buying the first thing. Really think about how you're going to use it, what you're going to use it for, what you're looking to achieve with it, really.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the time is really important. So I would have bought one the first weekend. The first show we went to, we almost bought one. I actually made an offer on a van, but it didn't get accepted. So I was quite fortunate because it didn't have the right bits for us on the van. So take your time. I mean, literally, there's no rush. It took us a year from when we started looking before we were ready to commit. It took us a bit longer to get the van because of other circumstances. So take as long as you need. Make sure you take plenty of time. Don't rush in. Make sure your decision is calculated and that you get the right vehicle for everybody. Okay, so that's it. We're at number 1 on the list, and at our number 1 on the list is layout. Absolutely imperative you get the right layout for you, that works for you. There are so many different layouts in motorhomes and campervans, and making sure you've got the right layout that fits your circumstances and your lifestyle and how you want to use the vehicle. One thing that we learned pretty early doors was the van we were going to buy before this one had a rear fixed bed, which sounded great at the time. But when I was watching a YouTube video, somebody suggested that lounging at the front in the dinette isn't very comfortable. You can't sort of sit and relax. And then with the British weather and cold and rain, sometimes you spend more time in the van than you do outside on some days. So to have somewhere comfortable to sit is really important. And, you know, layout was just probably the most important thing for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it is, because you are going to be in it quite a lot. You know, hopefully you get the opportunity to use it. So exactly that, you know, we like to sit down this end, watch the TV. Yeah, you can make it into a bed, or we can sleep upstairs in the pop top. Then we've got sort of like the diner area where you can eat. So it does kind of feel like you've got separate areas, and does make it fit, you know. I mean, it's big, but it's quite a small space, but it doesn't feel small, does it? It's such a contradiction. But yeah, the layout, and of course depends on how many people are coming with you, where the dog's going to sit, that kind of thing. So
yeah, totally, yeah. Make sure you've got a space for your dog, very important. Otherwise I'll just sit on the seats.
Yeah.
So we hope you found that video useful. As I say, we found these tips really, really helpful. These are the things we picked up when we were buying our first motorhome or campervan. And honestly, just literally take your time, make sure that you do as much research as possible, and hopefully you'll find the ideal vehicle for you and you can go and enjoy it and spend lots of time in the great outdoors.
Any questions, any comments, please leave them below and we'll reply.
Yes, we'll reply to everybody. So if you have any suggestions or tips yourself you want to add, please add them to the comments below, and make sure we get back to everybody.
Yeah, anything that you think other people might consider that we've missed. As I say, it's not an exhaustive list. They were just like the main considerations for us and the main things that we used for research.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you very much for watching.
Please like and subscribe.
Bye.